you one of them people that you struggle with codependency, I'm finna give you a word. If you one of them people you struggle with people pleasing, I'm finna give you a word. If you one of them people you struggle with holding your boundaries, or you never were taught to have boundaries, I'm finna give you a word. If you one of them people that you have a problem with being a caretaker overly, or one of those fixers, or you overly give, I'm finna give you a word. If you one of them people that you go along to get along, or you know, basically maneuver in ways to keep the peace or avoid conflict that puts you in compromising predicaments, right? If you one of them people that you tolerate toxicity in relationships and friendships, you're going to want to stay on here. If you one of them people that you pour into other people in hopes that they reciprocate the energy, but you have no real confirmation from them, right, through their behavior that they're going to do that, but you do it anyway, you should stay on here. If you one of them people that you give people multiple chances after they showed your ass they cannot show up in the ways necessary to earn the access to you, stay on this live. These are people I'm talking to. If you're not one of these people, go on about your business. Go on about your business. Everybody clear on that? Now, let me say this, right? Everything I listed stems from a space of self-abandonment. But a lot of people don't know this, right? And that shit stems from unhealed abandonment trauma. A lot of y'all don't realize when I be on the internet going on and on about children needing both parents, about people being in a space where their upbringing is affecting their behavior as an adult because they were raised by mostly one gender. A lot of that shit stems it grows into this. It stems from that and it grows into this stuff that I'm talking about right now. A lot of y'all got abandonment issues and you don't know that you do. This is what leaves you in that space of being codependent or people pleasing or struggling with boundaries. I don't feel like you actually deserve to put up boundaries. You allow other people to make you feel bad when you put your foot down about stuff for yourself. You be in a space where when we look at your life, most of your behavior is about caretaking and fixing shit for other people. And so you look at your life and you dissatisfied in all of your fulfillment, all of your proud moments about what you have done for others and not about what you have done for yourself. And then a lot of y'all, your environment has been set up for years to support this kind of behavior. So you can't even make the changes after you realize this is a problem because the people in your environment, the neighborhood you live in, the community you're a part of, they damn near make you feel uneasy or manipulate your ass into feeling like you're doing something wrong if you try to put yourself first. It's a lot of y'all, this is where your life is at right now, right? So I'm going to tell y'all this first, right? When you do all this shit in hopes of it making you, or you do it in hopes of things getting better as life goes on, you ain't doing nothing but sabotaging, right? You ain't doing nothing but letting yourself down. You ain't doing nothing but abandoning yourself. This shit has you in a space where you're looking for approval, validation, love, self-identity in this shit that is tied to others, and that is not where you find this shit at. And this go for male or female, gay or straight, young or old. This shit real for a lot of people. It is not specific to one group, one race, one gender, one set of people with religious beliefs. This shit be going for everybody. Do y'all understand what I'm saying so far? Looking at y'all like y'all looking at me, making sure we on the same page before I go any further. Now, let me say this, right? You got to realize that the way society is now, it encourages this behavior. So some of y'all, you had this shit going on since you was a child. Society encourages self-abandonment. The way that things are set up, the shit we watch, the things we model, because that's what human beings do the most, right? Your environment programs you, the people around you, your caregivers, the shit you learned from childhood when you were getting reared, your beliefs came from you modeling and looking at what was happening in the environment around you, in the home around you. This is how you learned how to survive what you were in. Do y'all understand that? A lot of y'all was taught this way from the beginning. The people pleasing, the codependency, the tolerating shit that don't really go with what you're trying to do for yourself or with your life. The giving people more chances than what they actually earn or they deserve. It's a lot of y'all, you were delivered into adulthood with this shit already going on. So in a nutshell, as a result, you grew up denying yourself, right? Your own needs, denying yourself, taking care of you. Do y'all understand this? I'm really trying to make it click before I go deep. You got to really realize, even for parents to children, children to parents, after a while, it clicks that I'm doing this in hopes that one day these people reciprocate what I've given to them. And that's why a lot of y'all be bitter. That's why a lot of y'all be upset. That's why a lot of y'all have these mood swings. You can't manage your emotions. You're turned off about relationships and new connections with other human beings because you feel so bitter and betrayed by the human beings you've been knowing all your life. It's more of a survival, like this so-and-so, they there for the stuff that we got to be there for each other based on being family or you being my mom or I'm being your child. But overall, there's no real reciprocation of what I've given to this shit. A lot of parents feel that in regards to their children because they abandoned themselves, right, their own needs to give their kids a certain life. And then later on, when they realize my child disconnects from me and goes out into the world and lives their own life, right, I'm no longer in control, right? I'm no longer a top priority to this child that I once was their world. Your world, your inner world, who you are is crushed. And for a lot of parents, you start that manipulating that shit. You start moving in ways where you damn near, going against what you should be doing for your child. You going against what is natural to support your child being a better adult because you got jealousy, you got bitterness, you got hurt because of what you sacrificed. You denied literally yourself to pour into another individual, but you didn't do it with the understanding that it's my responsibility to give me what I need and no one's going to come back to save me in the end. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? Now, here go the thing, like I said earlier. Most people are being reared to abandon themselves, right? So, in most cases, a person is not even capable of meeting their own needs because they can't, of course, they can't meet yours because they can't meet their own. I'm going to say it again. In most cases, the average person is struggling, right? Incapable of meeting their own needs from a deep inner space through to the outer surface level shit. So, of course, baby, they not going to be able to meet yours. Of course. Do y'all understand this? It's a lot of y'all, you so upset about that failed relationship. You so upset by the way that friendship ended. You so upset about the energy or the space that your family is in. But listen, them people struggling to meet their own needs. Them people struggling to understand their own requirements in order for them to do better and be better. How the fuck they gonna be all that to you? And a lot of y'all, you verbally say, I ain't looking for nobody to be nothing to me. I ain't looking for a bitch to do nothing for me. I ain't looking for a motherfucker to do this. Ain't nobody ever did nothing for me. That's what y'all verbally say. But your behavior towards others shows that yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because you constantly you constantly people pleasing. You constantly abandoning your own boundaries to try to make relationships work with others. And when you try to go isolate, that depression hits. When you try to go be by yourself and make it seem like this is the best space for me, the way society is set up, that shit starts to weigh on you. Because you get on the internet and what do you see? People in friendships, people in relationships, people's lives going a certain kind of way, right? And I'm one of the people, I understand people say stuff as a coping mechanism on the surface, but really be feeling differently in their inner, male or female. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? Just looking at y'all like y'all looking at me. So now, when you do this shit for years, right, it becomes chronic. Chronic long-term self-abandoner. Somebody type that. A chronic long-term self-abandoner. You feel used. You feel unappreciated. You feel resentful. You eventually